Born from a wild cactus in Latin America, dragon fruit has journeyed across continents for more than a century to become the red gem of the East in Asian agriculture, building a global empire worth up to $5 billion a year. But how can humble farmers supply millions of tons of dragon fruit each year to meet worldwide demand? That journey begins in vast plantations, where hundreds of thousands of pristine white flowers bloom under the night sky and are carefully nurtured until they transform into plump, crimson fruits. From there, they are harvested and pass through rigorous processing lines before becoming a tropical delicacy that conquers borders and captivates taste buds around the globe. Today, join Agriculture Insight on a fascinating adventure of dragon fruit. From sun-scorched fields to the refreshing, nutritious fruit served on your table, all of this will be revealed right now. Dragon fruit may still be an unfamiliar fruit to many Americans, but across Asia it shines as a true star of agriculture. This region shoulders the majority of the world's harvest, contributing to more than 6 million tons of dragon fruit produced globally each year. Vietnam, in particular, was once crowned the Kingdom of Dragon Fruit, exporting as much as 1.3 million tons on its own, a figure that is both impressive and a source of pride for a nation that turned a spiny cactus into a tropical delicacy coveted worldwide. Yet in 2021, the global picture shifted dramatically. China suddenly surged past 2 million tons a year, completely reshaping the balance of trade. This rapid rise not only redefined the positions of exporting countries, but also pushed dragon fruit farmers around the world into a fierce struggle for survival. Amid the whirlwind of competition, few remember that dragon fruit did not originate in Asia. This unique fruit actually began its journey in Latin America, where it was known as pitahaya or pitaya and was cherished by ancient civilizations as a gift of nature. After centuries of migration across continents, dragon fruit finally took root in the East and blossomed into a billion-dollar agricultural industry. Beneath its spiny skin and juicy flesh lies a rare treasure trove of nutrients, vitamin C, B vitamins, and essential fatty acids like omega-3 and omega-6, making it one of the tropical world's most flavorful and nourishing fruits. And now begins the journey to the southern land, harsh yet abundant, where radiant dragon fruits are nurtured by sun, wind, and white sands. Every journey begins with the soil. Dragon fruit thrives best in loose, well-drained soil, rich in organic matter, with a pH between 5.5 and 6.5. That is why sandy loam and well-aerated gray soils become the ideal environment for roots to anchor deeply and unleash vigorous growth. Before planting, the fields are thoroughly plowed during the dry season to clear away weeds, especially persistent grasses like kogan or wiregrass, and root-eating pests that drain nutrients from young plants. If ignored, the cost of eradicating them later would rise sharply. Once the soil is ready, the next step is to set up the posts, the backbone of an entire dragon fruit orchard. Farmers usually use concrete or hardwood posts, about 2 meters long, buried nearly half a meter deep for stability. The part rising 1.5 meters above the ground is fitted with curved iron rods, forming a support for the canopy to spread. During scorching summers, concrete posts can absorb heat and damage the plant's delicate roots. To prevent this, skilled growers wrap the posts with layers of rice straw, dried banana leaves, or old burlap sacks. This humble covering acts like a suit of armor, reducing heat and protecting the young plants during their most vulnerable stage, until they grow strong enough to thrive. Once the posts stand tall like milestones, the choice of cuttings determines success or failure. Each cutting must come from a healthy mother plant, at least 6 months old, with dark green, plump stems about 50 centimeters long. It is estimated that in just 1 hectare, around 7,000 quality cuttings can double yields compared to planting inferior stock. The round, firm clusters of spines along each node are clear signs of vigorous growth, the foundation for an orchard to flourish in unison. Once the soil and cuttings are ready, the next step is to create space for the plants to reach upward. Dragon fruit is a sun-hungry crop, so farmers usually set the posts about 3 meters apart, wide enough for each branch to stretch toward the light. On one sow of land, roughly 1,000 square meters, over 100 posts are neatly arranged, forming bright, airy orchards where every branch has the chance to capture sunlight and photosynthesize to its fullest. When the cuttings are selected, they are planted about 4 centimeters deep. The core must be firmly embedded in the soil to prevent root rot, while the stem is tied securely against the post. Skipping this simple step means that just one strong gust of wind could topple the young plants. Typically, each post carries around 4 cuttings, creating the initial framework for the entire orchard. As soon as the cuttings are planted in the soil, water becomes the lifeblood that sets the entire journey in motion. The fragile young plants must be watered regularly, typically every 3 days, to keep the soil moist. When the scorching summer heat stretches on for months, farmers skillfully cover the base with a layer of rice straw or coconut fiber. This humble cloak not only keeps the soil cool and suppresses weeds, but over time it also decomposes into natural nutrients, quietly nourishing the plants day by day. For dragon fruit to grow strong and sustainably, it needs to be refueled in time. Farmers usually spread organic or inorganic fertilizer in a circle a short distance from the base, then cover it with a thin layer of soil and water it in. This method allows the roots to spread wider, absorb nutrients more efficiently, and minimize losses. Nature grants dragon fruit only about 3 natural harvests a year, but with artificial light, that number can rise to nearly 10. In mature orchards, rows of electric bulbs glow through the night, transforming dark fields into a sparkling galaxy. It is this light that compels the plants to bloom out of season, allowing farmers to control supply in line with market demand. When the flowers bloom, only a few strong ones are kept on each branch. Once they set fruit, the thinning continues until just 1 or 2 of the healthiest remain. This practice allows the chosen fruits to grow faster, with firm, glossy skins, sweeter flesh, and higher commercial value. Typically, dragon fruit takes only about 30 to 50 days after flowering to ripen, depending on the variety. This is considered remarkably short compared to many other fruits such as mangoes, oranges, or tangerines. To preserve freshness, dragon fruits are harvested in the early morning or late afternoon. An orchard can yield dozens of tons in a single crop, yet harvesting remains almost entirely manual. The reason lies in the fruit's unique growth. It clings tightly to the post, is surrounded by ears and spines, and ripens unevenly on each plant. Using machines to clamp, shake, or cut in bulk would easily bruise the skin, break the ears, or snap the stems, lowering the fruit's commercial value. For this reason, workers patiently move between rows, carrying small shears, bending down to inspect ripeness before cutting by hand. One hand holds the fruit firmly, the other makes a clean cut, leaving a stem of about 3 to 5 centimeters. Immediately afterward, the fruit is placed gently into baskets, ready to be taken to the collection point. After being harvested, the fruits are brought to collection points, stacked in plastic crates, and transported directly to the factory. During transit, temperature and ventilation are strictly controlled to prevent wilting or bruising, ensuring the fruit retains its quality before entering the processing line. Upon arrival, crates of vibrant red dragon fruit are taken straight to the reception area. Here, they are weighed and given an initial sorting by hundreds of workers before officially moving onto the modern processing line. Next, the dragon fruits enter a continuous washing system. Multi-directional water sprays combined with disinfecting rollers remove every trace of soil, sand, and dust, leaving the surface naturally glossy. The process is repeated through several washing chambers, like a double shield, ensuring each fruit is perfectly clean before moving forward. Leaving the wash station, the fruits are carried onto conveyor belts, where leaves, broken stems, and damaged fruits are eliminated. Automated rollers and electronic scales then grade them by weight and size, sorting them into uniform groups. At the end of the line, workers conduct one final inspection, keeping only those fruits that are flawless in both color and shape. Fruits that meet the standard are surface dried, then neatly arranged into trays or paper-lined cartons. Each batch is wrapped with a breathable PE film or mesh bag, complete with traceability labels and export stamps. For demanding markets such as the United States, Europe, or Japan, the fruits must also undergo irradiation or hot water treatment to meet strict phytosanitary requirements. Finally, the cartons, each holding about 8 to 10 kilograms of dragon fruit, are sealed and placed into cold storage to preserve freshness. From there, refrigerated containers carrying dozens of tons are dispatched to seaports or airports, delivering this precious sweet flavor to consumers around the globe. Not limited to being exported as fresh fruit, premium quality dragon fruits are further elevated into a range of creative processed products. The most notable are crispy, naturally sweet, dried dragon fruit and refreshing, nutrient-rich dragon fruit juice. For dried dragon fruit, the journey begins with carefully selected crimson fruits, crimped at both ends and split open to reveal their juicy flesh. The thick green peel is neatly removed, leaving only the sweet white or red pulp inside. This pulp is then sliced into uniform pieces and arranged on trays before entering vacuum dryers for 14 hours, extracting moisture while preserving color, sweetness, and nutrition. Finally, the product is sealed in airtight packaging, where just 100 grams of dried dragon fruit equals more than half a kilogram of fresh fruit, ready to reach markets around the world. Dragon fruits of lower quality are by no means wasted. Instead, they are sent to processing facilities to be turned into refreshing juice. Here, the fruits are thoroughly washed, peeled, and then pulped to extract the fresh liquid. The juice is subsequently sterilized and bottled in glass or packaged in aseptic cartons. Thanks to modern technology, its natural flavor and nutrients are almost perfectly preserved. The result is a vibrant pink-red juice, rich in vitamin C and antioxidants, that has become a convenient and popular beverage in many countries. Thailand is considered the tropical paradise of jackfruit, producing nearly 400,000 tons each year. This giant fruit isn't just widely cultivated, it also brightens up the country's floating markets, where thousands are bought and sold daily from small wooden boats. But the real craze is rising across the globe. Just a decade ago, most Americans had never seen a jackfruit. Now it's becoming a new symbol of plant-based eating. Young jackfruit is especially praised as the perfect plant meat, thanks to its fibrous texture and ability to soak up flavors. turning easily into a vegan version of pulled pork or roast chicken. Many Americans still confuse jackfruit with durian because of their large, spiky appearance, but they're completely different personalities. Durian is the rock star of the tropics with a bold aroma people either love or run from, while jackfruit is gentle, sweet-smelling, and easy to share, like a friendly guest always welcome at the table. What about you? Do you prefer jackfruit or durian? The journey of jackfruit begins with tiny seeds, carefully selected from large, evenly ripened fruits. Then a gentle spray of protective solution is applied, followed by another layer of fiber to maintain stable humidity. After just 5 to 7 days, the hard shell begins to crack, revealing the first small root, a vivid sign that life has begun. From the sprouting seeds, farmers begin the planting process. They gently dig small holes, place each seed inside, and cover it with loose, airy soil. Finally, a layer of dry straw is spread on top, like a natural blanket protecting the tiny green sprouts from scorching sun and heavy rain, allowing them to safely push through and grow. As the sprouted jackfruit seeds begin to grow and push out tender green shoots, the grafting process is initiated. Farmers carefully select healthy buds from mother trees known for producing quality fruit, then skillfully attach them to the young seedlings, securing them with a thin layer of plastic film. After 7 to 10 days, once the grafted shoots emerge bright and green, the plastic wrap is removed. Successfully grafted plants are then selected and transplanted into soil, marking the start of their journey toward fruit production. With 3 to 5 years of meticulous care, including watering, fertilizing, and pest control, the mature jackfruit trees begin to yield their first fruits. Though the initial output may be modest, it signifies that the trees have adapted well and are ready to enter a stable, productive phase. As time passes, the jackfruit trees stand resilient against the sun and wind, and by the vibrant month of September, the entire orchard glows with golden hues. The plump, fragrant jackfruits peek out from beneath their leafy canopy, announcing that the harvest season has truly arrived. Recognizing a ripe jackfruit is not as straightforward as with most other fruits. When it reaches maturity, its leaves darken to a deeper green, the outer skin transitions from green to yellow, the spikes on its surface loosen slightly, and the stem begins to ooze sap. These signs typically appear in fruits weighing between 10 to 30 kilograms, the ideal size for commercial harvesting. Each jackfruit is carefully wrapped in a green mesh bag, a protective layer that shields it from insects, harsh sunlight, and physical impacts during its final growth stages. In large-scale jackfruit orchards, where hundreds of fruits can be harvested daily, workers use specialized tools with long handles and razor-sharp blades for the harvest. With a swift and precise cut, the blade navigates through dense foliage, swiftly bringing down even the enormous jackfruits hanging high above. Every cut demands absolute precision to prevent scarring the fruit's skin or breaking tender branches. Only seasoned farmers, often those with over a decade of experience, can distinguish between a fruit that has reached perfect sweetness and one that still needs more sunlight. Yet, jackfruit harvesting is far from simple. To reach fruits suspended over 3 meters high, farmers must secure themselves on sturdy ladders and carefully climb through dense branches. Once close enough, they must move cautiously across limbs, mindful not to damage young branches. When finally positioned, they make a decisive cut at the stem, slowly lowering the fruit with full concentration and strength, never allowing it to fall freely, as a single impact could bruise the flesh, scrape the skin, and reduce its value. In the canal-side orchards Klong of central Thailand, farmers have devised an ingenious harvesting method. Instead of carrying the heavy fruits manually, they cut them and let them directly into the canal. They then navigate along the water in boats to collect the floating jackfruits, maximizing efficiency by utilizing the natural waterways to swiftly transport the harvest to bustling floating markets. The freshly harvested jackfruits, bursting with vitality, are carefully loaded onto pickup trucks and motorbikes, ready for their journey to the collection point. There they undergo meticulous pre-processing, trimming leaves and stems to enhance their appearance. Once prepared, these pristine jackfruits continue their journey, traveling to bustling markets or processing factories where they are transformed into delicious dried jackfruit. Before heading into the dried jackfruit processing factory, let's first visit the bustling jackfruit market, where golden ripe fruits are stacked high, and buyers and sellers eagerly negotiate and trade. The sharp swish of knives, along with the pungent, characteristic scent of jackfruit sap, fills the air. The jackfruit cutters work deftly, hands firmly gripping thin, long-bladed knives pre-greased with cooking oil to prevent the sticky sap from adhering. With just one decisive cut, the rugged, thorny rind instantly splits open. Each golden, plump segment of jackfruit is then revealed. These are quickly deseeded, fibrous parts removed, and neatly arranged into plastic boxes or packaging trays, ready for their journey. In large markets like Chatuchak in Thailand, dubbed the fruit paradise, thousands of jackfruits are consumed daily, transformed into convenient portions for tourists and locals alike. The remaining jackfruit takes a different path. Instead of heading to bustling markets, it fulfills its purpose at modern processing plants. Immediately upon arrival at the factory, the sweet jackfruit is moved by workers into storage facilities. Here, the jackfruit is weighed and sorted according to its intended use. After being weighed, the jackfruit undergoes an initial cleaning of its exterior to remove dust accumulated during long transit. Next, the jackfruits go through the process of seed and fiber removal. Before beginning this stage, workers must strictly follow hygiene protocols to ensure food safety. They are required to sanitize their hands with a specialized disinfectant solution, typically containing at least 70% alcohol. When working with jackfruits, excessive force is not an option. Each fruit can weigh up to 30 kilograms, yet its flesh is incredibly delicate. Just a slight mishandling can bruise the segments and lower product quality. Skilled workers use razor-sharp, thin-bladed knives, sharpened daily, to precisely navigate around the fibrous core and seeds, preserving the plump texture of the fruit. Though this step seems simple, mastering it takes time. New workers typically need 1 to 2 weeks to perfect the technique of removing seeds without damaging the flesh. Experienced workers can process over 500 kilograms of jackfruit daily, working with speed and accuracy to maintain the highest standards. After the segments are separated and cleaned, the jackfruit undergoes rapid freezing at approximately 35 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius for 2 to 4 hours. This process locks in moisture and preserves the full flavor, ensuring the perfect texture for the next step: crisp, sweet dehydration. After freezing, the jackfruit is placed into a vacuum fryer, a specialized machine that operates in a low-pressure environment at only 80 to 90 degrees Celsius. Under these controlled conditions, moisture in the jackfruit evaporates gradually, preserving its natural shape, vibrant color, and original flavor. A key advantage of this method is that the oil circulates continuously during frying, but is completely removed afterward, resulting in crispy, non-greasy, perfectly intact pieces. After frying, the jackfruit is transferred to a centrifugal oil removal machine. Inside a high-speed spinning chamber rotating at 1,200 to 500 RPM, the centrifugal force pushes excess oil off the surface of the jackfruit pieces. This process ensures the final product is lightly crispy, non-greasy, and maintains an appealing golden color while extending its shelf life. After the oil is removed, the jackfruit is cooled on a conveyor belt to regulate temperature and moisture levels before packaging. Unlike traditional drying methods, vacuum frying delivers superior quality, producing jackfruit that is crunchier, more visually appealing, and richer in taste. Despite the distinction in processing, many people still refer to it as dried jackfruit, rather than the more accurate term, vacuum-fried jackfruit, simply out of habit. Once fully cooled, the jackfruit moves on to the quality inspection stage. Here, workers meticulously examine each segment by eye, discarding any pieces that are burnt, broken, discolored, or fail to meet the required size standards. The selected jackfruit segments are transferred to the packaging area. Each crispy piece is carefully sealed in specialized airtight bags made from moisture-resistant materials, effectively preventing humidity from seeping in. This protective layer ensures that the jackfruit retains its signature crunch, avoiding softness or texture degradation even during long-term storage. Each bag typically weighs between 100 to 200 grams, making it both convenient for consumption and optimal for preservation. One crucial but often overlooked step is the gas flushing system, where an inert gas, usually nitrogen, is pumped into the bag before sealing. Nitrogen creates a stable environment, preventing oxidation, preserving the jackfruit's vibrant golden color, and extending its shelf life without the need for artificial preservatives. Thanks to this meticulous packaging process, vacuum-fried jackfruit can maintain its crisp texture and distinctive flavor for 6 to 12 months. Although technology in the US is highly advanced and mango harvesting robots have begun to emerge, equipped with sensors to detect ripe fruit and robotic arms to pick each mango, this technology is not yet widely adopted. That's because harvesting mangoes isn't easy. The fruit bruises easily and trees are tall with wide canopies. As a result, hand-picking remains the most common method. Even so, machines still play a supporting role, with tools like lifts, conveyors, and creative harvesting devices helping boost efficiency and reduce manual labor. Every April, as mangoes begin to ripen and turn golden under the warm sunlight, the bustling harvest season kicks off. Each mango is carefully inspected right in the field before being picked. Don't be fooled by appearances. Not every golden fruit is ready. Each mango variety has its own ripeness cues. Some turn from green to yellow, others take on a rosy blush, and some can only be judged by gently squeezing the skin to check for just the right firmness. For low-hanging mango trees, harvesting is done entirely by hand. Farmers gently hold each fruit, feeling for ripeness through its taut skin and just right softness. A skill that may seem simple, but actually requires experience to avoid bruising the flesh. When mangoes are out of reach, harvesters use a specialized stem cutting tool, a long pole equipped with a sharp gripping head. This design allows them to reach each mango from the ground and gently cut the stem without causing the fruit to fall or bruise. For taller trees, especially on large-scale farms, hydraulic lifts are used, like a mechanical arm that raises workers safely to reach thick, towering canopies as high as 5 to 6 meters. This blend of traditional techniques and modern support makes mango harvesting more efficient, safer, and less labor-intensive. On average, one person can harvest up to 1,200 mangoes per day, depending on the height of the trees, fruit density, harvesting technique, and weather conditions. Especially when cutting the stem, farmers must leave a small portion attached to the fruit to prevent sap from oozing out and damaging the skin or staining other mangoes. That's why, right after harvest, the stem of each mango is rinsed with a gentle stream of pressurized water to remove the sticky, irritating sap. This simple step not only helps the fruit maintain its fresh appearance, but also extends its shelf life, especially important during long-distance transport or export. Mango sap is highly acidic and can cause skin irritation, burning sensations, or allergic reactions upon direct contact. That's why during harvest season, gloves, arm sleeves, and protective clothing are essential gear for professional mango growers. After harvest, the mangoes are quickly transported to nearby processing facilities to preserve their freshness. The ripe mangoes are placed into large red plastic crates specifically designed with ventilation holes on all sides. These openings help keep the fruit cool and well ventilated, minimizing heat and moisture buildup, and significantly reducing the risk of spoilage during transport. After a bumpy ride aboard heavily loaded trucks, the fresh crates of mangoes finally arrive at the processing facility, where their true transformation begins. Here, workers will conduct a preliminary inspection, carefully selecting the mangoes that meet the required standards, while discarding those that are damaged, bruised, or show signs of disease. Only the finest fruits will proceed to the next stage of the process. Next, the mangoes are placed into a water bath or a continuous flowing water stream, where the gentle sound of water not only helps remove dirt but also cools the fruit, preventing premature fermentation and keeping the mangoes fresh. After the preliminary wash, the mangoes are passed through a high-pressure water spray system, where powerful jets of water clean off any remaining impurities and bacteria from the skin. The spray nozzles are automatically controlled, ensuring that each mango is evenly washed without the need for manual intervention. This not only boosts efficiency, but also reduces the risk of direct contact, all while maintaining the highest quality of the product. The mangoes are soaked once again in a sanitizing water solution, typically ozone water, a method that not only helps eliminate bacteria and mold. Then the mangoes move on to the drying area. Here, they gently roll along a conveyor belt lined with soft, wave-like padding, designed not only to prevent scratches but also to absorb any remaining water on the fruit's surface. Some factories also install overhead air-blowing systems to speed up the drying process, ensuring the mangoes are completely dry before entering the sorting and packaging stages. After being thoroughly washed, the mangoes travel along a conveyor system and pass through a scanner equipped with automatic sensors that sort them based on size, color, and ripeness. Mangoes that meet the standards in shape and show no signs of bruising or damage are sent to the next processing stages, while undersized, substandard, or damaged ones are redirected for processing into other products, depending on specific criteria, such as mango juice or dried mango slices. Mangoes that meet the quality standards after sorting are labeled with traceability information, clearly stating the place of origin and packing date. Each fruit is carefully placed in plastic trays or cardboard boxes lined with soft foam to minimize impact during long-distance transportation. For premium varieties like Honey Gold or Nam Dok Mai, each mango is additionally wrapped in protective mesh to preserve its shape and extend shelf life. The mangoes are then stored in cold rooms at an ideal temperature of 10 to 13 degrees Celsius, with humidity around 90% to maintain their crisp texture and vibrant color. Once all quality standards are met, the mangoes are packed into large cartons and shipped in refrigerated containers to supermarkets, restaurants, and retail chains around the world. And while the highest quality mangoes are carefully packaged for destinations around the world, the remaining ones embark on a different kind of journey, a magical transformation inside modern processing factories, to be transformed into a wide variety of mango-based products. First, let's take a closer look at the frozen mango production line, where ripe, juicy mangoes are flash frozen step by step to preserve the full taste of summer all year round. After sorting, each mango is securely fixed onto a specialized holder. Then, an automated blade system peels off the outer skin with a rotating motion, carefully preserving the fruit's shape and flesh. Next comes the cheek cutting stage, a task that requires both skill and precision. Since mango flesh is soft and easily bruised, most factories still perform this step manually, despite having modern production lines. Then the mangoes are washed again, using a foaming solution and air pressure to remove any remaining dirt, then quickly dried by an automated lifting system before moving on to the next processing stage. After the cheeks are separated and the seed removed, the mangoes are fed into an automatic cutting machine that slices them into uniform cubes. Sharp, high-speed blades process thousands of pieces per minute with high precision, ensuring each cube is the ideal size for freezing. Ever wondered how frozen mango cubes stay loose instead of clumping into a solid block? The secret lies in the vibrating mesh system. As the cubes move along a stainless steel tray, continuous shaking spreads them evenly and removes excess surface moisture. This small step makes a big difference. By minimizing moisture, it prevents ice buildup and keeps the cubes separate. Modern IQF lines can freeze 2 to 3 tons of mango per hour, dropping the temperature to -35°C in under 20 minutes. After freezing, the mangoes are packed into moisture-resistant cardboard boxes lined with plastic film, each weighing about 5 to 10 kilograms. The boxes are sealed, fully labeled, and stacked on pallets, ready to be stored in cold rooms for export. The magic of delicious mangoes doesn't stop there. Mango isn't just turned into crispy snacks, it also drives millions of people crazy for the iconic, chewy dried mango. Once the mango is ready, golden mango slices are gently placed into the drying chamber. Here, they undergo a slow drying process in a tightly controlled environment, typically between 50 and 60 degrees Celsius. The drying period lasts from 10 to 14 hours, depending on the thickness of the slices and the ripeness of the fruit. This process reduces the moisture content to an ideal level while preserving the mango's natural color, sweet flavor, and irresistibly soft, chewy texture. After drying, the soft mango slices are removed from the trays and sealed in foil pouches to extend shelf life. And now, let's head to the mango juice factory, the part we've all been waiting for. Here, workers place mangoes into trays and use hand pressure to pre-press them into small cube-like chunks about 20 millimeters in size, helping to release some of the juice and prepare them for the final pressing process. Next, the mango chunks are fed into a grinding machine. This equipment crushes the small pieces into a fine pulp. The resulting pulp is then transferred to a fruit press where mechanical pressure is applied to squeeze out the juice. To obtain a clear juice, the mixture must go through an additional filtration process to remove any remaining solids. The filtered mango juice is then filled into large industrial plastic drums, lined with specialized plastic bags to prevent contamination and ensure food safety. These drums typically hold between 200 to 250 liters of juice and are kept refrigerated or deep frozen while awaiting transport to bottling facilities. Finally, the mango juice is automatically filled into thoroughly sterilized PET bottles, then sealed tightly using heat sealing technology to prevent air or bacteria from entering. This fully enclosed, highly automated process not only ensures food safety but also extends shelf life, so every drop of juice reaches consumers rich in sweetness, smooth in texture, and full of nutrients. From there, it finds its way everywhere. On the shelves of major supermarkets, in family refrigerators, next to a glass of ice on a summer table, or as part of a refreshing, energizing breakfast. Compared to mangoes, a vitamin-rich fruit primarily known for its sugar, coconuts stand out with their ability to replenish electrolytes, provide healthy fats, and support immunity in a natural and sustainable way. And while coconuts may seem like the essence of tropical chill, they're not entirely harmless. Each year, around 150 people are injured by falling coconuts, more than by shark attacks and lightning strikes combined. Under the blazing sun of early April, as the dry season arrives with its golden hue, coconut groves across Indonesia come alive, marking the beginning of the busiest harvest of the year. Coconuts are notoriously stubborn fruits, growing in heavy clusters high atop trees that can reach 20 to 25 meters, making them especially difficult to collect. Traditionally, harvesters climb trees barehanded to cut down the clusters directly. However, this method is extremely risky and unsuitable for large-scale farms. To reduce the dangers of climbing, many plantations now use long poles fitted with blades to cut coconuts from the ground. But when clusters fall freely from such great heights, the fruits often crack upon impact, leading to waste and reduced quality. Today, resourceful farmers have found an effective solution that ensures safety while minimizing harvest losses. They dig shallow irrigation channels between rows of coconut trees so that when the heavy clusters are cut, the coconuts no longer fall freely onto the ground, but instead land gently in the water below. The water acts like a natural cushion, absorbing the impact from heights of several meters. A single 50-meter-long channel can safely catch up to 2,000 coconuts per day, significantly reducing cracking rates, a common issue that previously caused up to a 30% drop in product value during harvest seasons. Afterward, the coconuts are collected by farmers and tied together into long rows using sturdy ropes. They float on the water, neatly aligned like a string of drifting buoys. This method allows hundreds of coconuts to be moved at once without the need for boats, saving significant time and effort during the harvest. Once collection is complete, the coconuts are loaded onto specialized trucks using a combination of manual labor and inclined conveyor belts. Depending on the terrain, farmers may also use pulley systems or hydraulic lifts to speed up the loading process. The coconuts are then arranged in horizontal layers and secured with straps or mesh nets to minimize impact during long-distance transport. From there, the convoy travels along rugged red dirt roads, weaving through rustling coconut groves and crossing wide rivers, heading straight to modern processing facilities, where the transformation journey of each coconut officially begins. As the trucks loaded with fresh coconuts arrive at the receiving area, the gateway to a modern processing journey officially opens. The coconuts are fed into the automatic dehusking zone, where high-speed rotary machines equipped with stainless steel alloy blades begin their work. Each minute, the spinning shafts can reach up to 1,200 revolutions, allowing hundreds of coconuts to be dehusked per hour with maximum precision. Each pure white coconut is gently rotated in the skilled hands of a worker. A sharp blade glides over the surface like it's carving a tropical gem, shaping it precisely for the journey ahead. The first stop each coconut must pass through is the washing chamber. Here, a series of high-pressure jets unleash powerful streams of water to blast away any remaining dirt, fibers, or debris left behind after harvesting and peeling. The system operates as a closed-loop conveyor belt, running continuously with a cleaning capacity of up to 2,000 coconuts per hour. In the next stage, workers wearing sterile gloves carefully place sanitary plastic caps onto the top of each coconut. Coconuts typically have two ends, a pointed tip, which was once attached to the stem while hanging on the tree, and a flatter base. Only the flat end is stable enough for drilling and capping, allowing for a tight, secure seal that prevents leakage during transport and storage. Before heat shrink technology, up to 20% of coconuts would crack during transport. Now, thanks to a hot steam chamber, the nylon layer shrinks tightly around each coconut like a suit of armor. Not only sturdy, but also visually appealing, with almost no product loss. At the final stop of the line, a small hole is precisely drilled into the top, perfectly sized for a straw. A sterile plastic cap is immediately sealed over the opening, ensuring maximum hygiene and user convenience. Just pop the lid and enjoy the fresh tropical flavor inside. Each finished coconut is then neatly packed into specialized cartons with shock-absorbing liners, sealed, labeled, and transferred to cold storage. From there, the cool sweetness of the tropics is ready to hit the road, bound for supermarkets, cafes, and millions of homes around the world. Fresh coconut water, with its light sweetness and refreshing taste, is a signature gift from the tropics, but it's notoriously sensitive to time, staying fresh for only 1 to 2 days at room temperature. That's why packaged coconut water was born. Convenient, long-lasting, and ready to accompany every step of modern distribution. Unlike fresh coconut water, which typically comes from young coconuts, the packaged version favors mature, dry coconuts, where the sweetness is more concentrated and pronounced over time. At the factory, Each coconut is fed into an automated drilling system, where a sharp drill pierces the hard shell to extract the water inside. The liquid is then immediately transferred into large cooling tanks, where the temperature is kept steady at 4 degrees Celsius to preserve both flavor and nutrients. A multi-layer filtration system follows, thoroughly removing all residues, oils, and microscopic particles. Once it reaches the desired purity, the coconut water is quickly sterilized and chilled again, locking in the fresh taste as if it were just cracked open. Next, it flows into a high-speed filling line, where it's poured into pre-sterilized multi-layer cartons, a specialized packaging that shields against light, air, and bacteria. For added flexibility, the coconut water is also bottled in PET plastic. Easy to store, carry, and perfect for everything from supermarket shelves to on-the-go convenience. But the story of the coconut doesn't end there. While the water is bottled as a refreshing drink, the rich white flesh embarks on a completely different journey, one that weaves into the world of natural health and beauty. Each coconut is first stripped of its coarse, fibrous husk to reveal the hard brown shell, often called the stone of the coconut, thanks to its rock-like toughness and surprising resistance to impact. This shell is then cut or ground down using automated blades or high-speed rotary machines, exposing the thick, creamy, and fragrant white meat inside. After the hard brown shell is removed, the coconut meat is chopped into small pieces and passed through a high-pressure water rinsing system. The goal, to eliminate any remaining dirt, fibers, or debris from the shelling process. It may look simple at first glance, but this pure white flesh hides a treasure trove of nutrients. It contains over 60% natural oil, most notably lauric acid, a rare plant-based fat known for its powerful antibacterial, moisturizing, and antioxidant properties. Next, the clean coconut meat is finely ground and then pressed using either cold press or mechanical extraction methods. This technique helps preserve the natural aroma, nutrients, and purity of the oil. The result is virgin coconut oil, clear, lightly fragrant, and incredibly versatile. It can be used to make lip balm, hair conditioner, skin cream, or even as a healthy cooking oil for keto diets. Few people know that coconut oil was once studied by NASA as a potential biofuel. Today, this versatile oil is found in over 1,000 consumer products, from toothpaste, shampoo, and soap to dietary supplements. It's a clear reminder that even the so-called leftover coconut meat, after the water is extracted, still holds remarkable value in the global supply chain. Few would expect that the coarse, seemingly useless husk of a coconut, once discarded or burned, would become the starting point of a surprisingly valuable journey. From this tough fibrous shell, high-powered machines crush, press, and sift to extract coconut coir, a natural material now playing a role in a global industry worth billions of dollars. At the husk processing facility, heavy-duty machines take on the first task, shredding the tough outer layer, then pressing and sieving it to extract coir fiber, a natural valuable material widely used in agriculture and handicrafts. Once separated, the coir is passed through a drying system to remove all moisture, then compressed and packed into large bales for easier transport and storage. These dry coir bales are then moved to the finishing area. Here, automated machines work continuously to tease apart the fiber strands and sort them by length. The qualified fibers are twisted into thick, sturdy ropes, ideal for use in maritime industries, construction, or as organic growing media in agriculture. Beyond its industrial value, coconut coir also holds great potential in traditional crafts. When properly treated, the coarse fibers can be softened into fine, yarn-like strands, ready for weaving, crocheting, or artistic shaping. Once processed, the fibers are neatly rolled, bundled, and distributed to local workshops and factories. In the skilled hands of artisans, they are brought to life as handbags, rugs, decorative baskets, or even unique wall hangings. In some countries, coconut coir is even used to create expressive figurines with human faces. Coir for hair, coconut shells for faces, all combined into coconut fiber puppet heads or husk figurines, showcasing the limitless creativity drawn from natural materials. Each handcrafted item is a small slice of a remarkable transformation, from discarded husk to sustainable, artistic, and inspiring product.